Good morning, Costas. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome, everybody. How is everybody doing? So today topic it will be about domestication syndrome in dogs. For the people who never know about what doesn't mean the domestication syndrome, we're gonna talk to today. We're gonna disclose this topic. It's important. It has to do with origin of dog breeds and origin of dog in total. I think it's an interesting topic and it's important to get some knowledge and information. For people that which doesn't fit yourself in this channel, no problem about that. This is an animal channel and education purpose. If you don't fit well in this channel, you are free to go. No need to say any insulting word or something like that. We need to respect the YouTube community guidelines. For the people that doesn't understand English, I'm so sorry, but I can just talk in English and in my native language. Now, I prefer the English language because the speakers are mostly in the English language. So this is the brief start for everybody. Welcome everybody to the live stream. Daniel, how are you doing today? How is everybody doing? Elisa, hey, where are you from? Where I'm from Albania. Që nga shqiptare ti? Se s'ka mundësi. Aha, të dallova direkt. So let's make a short representation of everybody that is joining in this live stream, and after I will discuss about the domestication syndromes in dogs in detail. Where you guys are from, and do you have any pet at home or not? And during the live stream, if anybody has any concern about the pets of livestock animals, feel free and just write the comment down below. If you have any issue about the domestication, about breeding the dog, about traits, dog behavior, health issues, feel free and write your concern. And type the screen, guys. I will appreciate your support by typing the screen and give some hearts, some likes, or whatever you prefer from those. Just one, it's not enough. I see just one, very briefly. Heart. Yeah. Somebody is very very careful in heart. Okay. So before I start with the topic, if you have any concern, or if you want to say where you are from and your name. Hi Bella, how are you doing today? So Bella, today topic it will be about the domestication syndrome in animals. Especially I'm gonna touch the dog. That's important one. So from 31 people that are in live stream, have you ever heard about the domestication syndrome? Do you know what doesn't mean the domestication syndrome? Without going and Google, just being honest with yourself. If you don't, no problem, because no, my friend. Okay, I understand. Not everybody should know. Especially if you are not in the biology sign, or especially in. Frankly, no. Okay, I understand that. Paulina Rapichka. Hello, greetings from Poland. Yes, I have heard about the domestication syndrome. That's cool. I thought to myself, does this syndrome exist? Well, it's debatable, but looks like it stay because of many facts. I do not know. Well, the domestication syndrome, it's happening in human too. It's not only in animals. Okay, I'm gonna start talking with domestication syndrome. In the while, if anybody has something to say, a question about what does it mean about what does my pit bull dog is kind said all the time. Your pit bull dog is kind said all the time. Well, maybe a separation anxiety. Is your pit bull sad when you are present or when you leave the house, when you let the dog alone? So be a little bit more clear about that, because usually the dogs show sadness when they don't have attention, when they are sick, when you are there. Well, so we can accept the being a separation anxiety. Do you take the dog and go out, or you just let the dog at home? And where you are from? Okay, I'm gonna start with the topic, and if somebody want to say something, let's to say to stay listen to me what I have to say about this the domestication syndrome, and after I'm gonna answer your concern, guys. So the domestication syndromes translate in the change of the behavior traits, physical traits in animal, and today we are talking about the dogs. During the domestication, if we go back from the origin of the dog, we just have the source, and the scientists prove that the dog domesticated from wolf. But if we see those many dog breeds that we have today, they are completely different. They behave different. Physical traits is different, And they show a lot of different phenotypes. This translates not just in the manner of breeding, but in the same time. For example, the hanging ears, the smooth coat, curvy tails, which the wolf doesn't have those, and shorter teeth, and being more and more polite with people, not so much aggressive compared with a wolf, being more friendly. It's translated or it prescribed as a syndrome, the domestication syndrome in animal. It can happen in animal, it can happen in plant too. It's pretty much the same. Why it happened like this? The change of the environment. It's one of the main change of how the manner of living of those animals make them to show the change in appearance too, in the physical traits, in the behavior, and express those change with a different kind of phenotypes. This is the domestication syndrome in animals. It has been proved in the modern time with the domestication of fox. Russian biologists did an experiment by taking a group of fox and started to tame them. The fox showed change in the behaviors, but not only, they change even in anatomical structure in physique. Some fox started to have a curly tail in the end, and even not to have all of them, not to have the erected ears. They start to have like bending a little bit the ears, pretty much like that, and completely different behaviors to the human. And this translation, you can go and find those examples even in plant. Even in plant, the domestication, the breeding of the plant too. It's happened, this syndrome, the syndrome of the domestication in plant too, not just in animals. And after the breeding technique, inbreeding, crossbreeding, bring us to a lot of different phenotypes: color, head shape, big, short dogs, heavy, light dogs, long body, short body. So pretty much this is the meaning of syndrome of domestication. The change from the wild animal to the domestication animal. The physical trait, the behavior trait, the anatomical structure. People are domesticating the fox, and it's already visible that are more people-friendly fox and more different it is from the wild variety. Yes, they even those fox doesn't show only the curved tails, but even they present different kind of colors too. They have present those different phenotypes in colors too. Different if you compare without even mixing them, without crossing them with different subspecies of foxes. They show this variety. They change not only in the behavior, but even in the physical structure. They have this change. They present external phenotypes. And this is to reply to Paulina about the fox. What does it happen so? Any explanation? Well, it is a little bit connection with the Darwin evolution. So you have to understand that the evolution, the Darwin evolution has connection to, it's not the theory that you're gonna just take it away immediately. No, it's a plant or animal adapt to the different environment, to the different treatments. because a tamed proto-wolf dog treated different compared with a wild wolf was treated different by animals, and that different change of manage those animal, different treatment of this animal start to represent different kind of phenotypes, like hanging ears, short teeth, short canine teeth. They don't need those, so they try to less aggressive towards human. All of those change of treatment of the animal and plants come in the conclusion or come in this meaning of the domestication syndrome in animals and plant, when we have change in the behavior and change in the physique too. It's kind of the adaptation. It's kind of the adaptation in the manner of how they treat. How you treat them, they start to show those kind of behavior. Some of them start to become smaller. Some of them become larger. Some of them present, for example, a smooth coat compared with a wild animal, especially when we go to the ancestor, which is the gray wolf, which present a harsh double coat, very harsh hair. Those domestic animal that was treating well, keeping inside, they don't needed those kind of coat. If you understand what I mean. The school is changing too, for sure. That's why the school, the teeth. When we talk about the school, we are talking about anatomical structure. Physical appearance start to change. When we talked about the physical appearance, we have different kind of color, curvy tail, hanging ears, different kind of skull shape, short muzzle compared with a wolf, smooth coat. Those are the physical traits that are related to the domestication syndromes in animal. We have the same. So some wild plants start to change, becoming more productive for the human during the hunter and gather. The Darwin theory after 5 years of travel with a beagle boat. Well, the Darwin theory, you cannot just take it away completely. So the Darwin theory, it stay. And it makes sense. Maybe it doesn't make sense 100%, but it makes sense in change it, especially in the adaptation. Adaptation against different kind of external factor. Yes, the brain change in those animals too, because, for example, a wild animal need to be more sharper, more smart. It's related to the own. A dog mostly related to the people, to the master, to the owner. If you see, for example, those stray dogs, they have very good developed brain too. They are more adaptable. They know how to survive. Compare with the breed dogs. Those stray dogs are more adaptable. This one that you keep it at home, it's more silly because it's related to the owner, to the master. during the taming time. When they tame, they start to show not only change in the behavior, but they show even change in anatomical structure, in the physical appearance. So the theory of evolution is the first one that bring and explain the domestication syndrome in dogs. Not everybody is agree about that, but it makes sense. It makes sense, and we have saw that in many experiments, in the different kind of external factor, in the different kind of treatments, the animals start to adapt. And start to represent different kind of traits, compare with ancestor, or compare with the group, the select group that they used to be part. They show those kind of different traits. They start to, for example, the Highlander dogs, or even the dog. If you bring a dog which has the normal short coat, or normal coat, not just short, and if you're gonna bring those kind of group of dogs in the highland, they're gonna start to present a long coat. It's like an adaptation to the external factor, which is the climate. But in this case, it was not just the climate, was the manner of treatment by human in dogs. That's why they start to change, not just in the behavior, but even in the physique. They present different type of phenotypes, like different kind of color, anatomical change, shorter muzzle than a wolf. Compared with domestic dogs, wolf has longer muzzle, longer jaw, bigger teeth. And after the manner of breeding, in breeding, outcross, and those kind, select those kind of different breeds that we have. So the DNA of an organism react because of the external and internal factors. React, start to modify, start to adapt. Okay, it's 11:11. 11 likes, 11 people. The one that feel a little bit boring, yeah, we understand. This is for educational purpose. If you want some entertainment video and at the same time education, you can scroll down, go with my channel and watch some video. But this is like a lesson for education purpose. For people, for example, Paulina was curious and has studied about the domestication syndrome in animals and plants. Well, we have studied this in the elementary school too, I think. When we start to do the biology, to study the biology class, we have touched this. We have touched this kind of domestication syndrome. But because was not so deeply, we have touched the genes, the genotype, and the phenotypes too. So we have touched them, but because of we didn't want, for some people, that you don't need it for the life, you don't need it for your profession, you start to forget. But in biology books, this kind of Domestication syndrome is mentioned. The Darwinian evolution is mentioned too. It's not something new. It's not bring, for example, in recent years. No, it's not something new. Every dog come from this syndrome. Do you understand what does this syndrome, my friend? Do you understand what I explain it? Because looks like you didn't get it well. Now I'm talking to Kostas because he say the Rottweiler as a breed have domesticated syndrome, and I say all the dogs that we have today came because of this domestication syndrome. But in different breeds, we don't have just the domestication syndrome. We have more. Human interaction, breeding, inbreeding, outcross, different kind of manner of breeding. We have those kind of different breeds right now. That's why we have different variety of breeds. Because of the breeding technique, different breeding technique that human or the breeder apply in dogs. Even human has this, the domestication. Even human has changed. An organism, because of the external factor and internal factor, will adapt. You have to understand this. Will adapt. If not adapt, it will be eradicated. If the organism has no ability of adaptation, surviving, what is adaptation? Adaptation is like surviving mode. Adapt and overcome. Well, the Mendeleev was like a breeder. Was like a breeder, so he was creating a different variety of. That was a breeder. He was performing those kind of breeding to the plant. That was he doing, the Mendel, the Grigor Mendel. And we have to understand that a lot of plant that ancient Anatolian farmers work come from this kind of domestication syndrome. A lot of them, a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables. They used to be like a wild plant. The manner how the human treat them start to change because of this manner of treatment, because this external factor started to adapt. And after, for example, we know that in agriculture, we do the breeding plant, different kind of plant. We mix them too, to create different variety of plant. We use this technique too, but outcross with other plant. We modify, if you can call in this way, we modify the plant by doing this kind of. I remember that very well. I even thought it was long time ago in the last century in elementary school during biology class. That's what I'm talking about, because we have studied in the biology class, but not so deeply. And when we don't repeat, when we don't read again, you're gonna start to forget about those details. You're gonna have those problems by starting to forget that. Any question about this topic today? Or was I clear in the way how I explain? All clear. Thank you for the feedback. It was 100% clear to me. So the domestication syndrome is kind of way of adaptation. If for people who don't understand what does it mean, it's kind of the adaptation that the plant or the animal Yes, I know what is Darwin theory, what is based one. But Darwin gave us a point of view, and was very strong point of view. It's not something that you can just take it away immediately. No. No, it was good study that Darwin or another assistant who did that study. Because there are many conspiracy theories about that. Was not only the Darwin that did that study, was another one that Darwin was basic and put it to the book. Anyway, it's not important who did it, the study, but the study has very strong foundation, and you cannot just take it away immediately. You cannot just take it away immediately. Yeah, I like this theory too. I like this kind of theory too, because it has strong foundation in some way. So you cannot just take it away immediately. So the DNA of the organisms, if they don't have any change naturally, you can do it this, for example, just modify the DNA. Yes, I understand, by using the engineering. By modify the genes, you can do it this too, which is short time, and we know we have those kind of GMO, for example, genetic modify. You can do it in plant, you can do it in virus, you can do it in microbes, you can do it in animals too. You can modify, because the science is very developed. I'm not talking, I don't know how was the science, because there is a what I call the forbidden knowledge. Yeah, we know that too. But we talk what we have now. We talk what we have now. what we have now, we can talk. And the Darwin's theory stay, and it's very strong. Well, you guys, you don't have any question about this topic. Well, we can discuss a different kind of topic if you have any question. Let's to be related mostly to the animals, not to just go away and talk about for boxing or football or something like that. Not because I don't I don't like, but I don't prefer to talk. It's not. I'm not discussing a match or something like that. I want to stay to the channel purpose. The domestication syndrome is bad or good? Well, the domestication syndrome is adaptation. It's not bad. It's part of the adaptation to the external factor, persistence, indicate in the organism, plant or animal. You cannot say it's bad or it's good. In our side, it's good. Because we have, for example, different culture of plant. In agriculture, we have a lot variety of that. Because you could not eat, for example, a watermelon. The watermelon, the original one, was very small. Very, very small. Like a tennis ball. I'm just giving you one example. For example, just watermelon. Or the first grain, seed, was wild grain. Was not like the domestication one. The oldest seed of grains is found in Anatolia. Just for information. Like everything, it has its pros and cons. Yeah, like everything. But in our side, as the high intelligence being, that we control the animal and plant, we get the benefit. Do they have the side effect? For sure they have a side effect. For example, the wild plant are more resistant to the disease. The domesticated plant are more fragile. They get sick. I'm just giving you this example. For example, wolves are more resistant to the disease, to the parvovirus, and to other different diseases. The domesticated dog are more fragile to the disease. It's like a natural selection with human selection. And this happened to different culture in livestock and different culture in agriculture. This is almost the same. But we are talking about the domestication syndrome. And what we did for our benefit. That's why. I don't know how you guys understand or not. Yes, was white, small. I'm just giving one example about the watermelon. But if you go to the crops, to the grain, to the corn, if we go back, and if we see, even in the biology, they are mentioned that they used to be a wild plant. because of the human treatment by the farmers. Those plants change it. How they did it? Well, it's not so hard to understand. When did they get the knowledge? That's debatable. It's a controversy to talk about how the ancient farmers of Anatolia had those kind of knowledge by starting to be those kind of breeder and those kind of farmers. With those so much knowledge, they jump from the hunter and gatherer to the Anatolian farmers, which a higher, I don't know how was the level of knowledge, but compared with a hunter and gatherer, the change was drastically. A huge jump. That's debatable. That's really a debatable one. So, I'm not sure how they did it. Where did they get those knowledge? From the hunter and gatherer to the civilization of Egypt, Mesopotamia. I do not know to give those kind of question. I have just the kind of the theory, but I'm not sure. I know the Serbian watermelon is the best in the world, but nowadays we got this GMO copy of it without any taste. Well, the Balkan food was used to be good, but yes, they changed the they changed the seed, because in the time of, if we talk about the communism, they have very good quality seeds in agriculture, but when the Westerners start to bring those seed that produce a lot of quantity, the quality was low. People has the tendency to go for the profit, for the quantity, not for the quality. So you're gonna lose quality for sure. Even the soil is ruining today for short-term benefit, but probably no benefit because the food is less nutrition. It's not because of the benefit of being high quality, it's because of the incoming. Has to do with incoming, has to do to increase the incoming, to increase the quantity of stuff. That's why you're going to lose the quality, you're going to lose the nutrition, you're going to lose the taste. Because nobody is focused on the quality. They are focused in quantity to generate money, to see as a profitable business. Old knowledge. Yeah? The same was true of humans who were previously much more capable of surviving in the wild and had other sense of instinct that saved them. Modern man has been spoiled and has lost that. Yes, that's why I say the domestication syndrome, it's not only for animal and plant, it's for human too. Racing in the different kind of environment make you to lose some skills and to develop some other skills. So it's like a pro and cons. Lost that ability, this is the parallel to what happened between humans and dog. Yeah, so pretty much you start to understand what doesn't mean the domestication syndrome. And I say that human has changed too, not only in the mentality, but even in the physique. We have change in the physique too, in the appearance, in anatomical structure. We have change. We have those change. Rodolph Erdogan. Say I love you. You love me like a knowledgeable person, or you love me in a different kind of way? I'm from Split, Croatia, and I got my own seeds. I crop in the city. I want to eat organic food. It's not too much job to have it all. 3 times per week or less if you have water on timer. Money, money, money. Yeah, it's about money, Gronis. Nine, it's about money. It's about money. That's why we have those bad quality of foods. It's about money. Reduce the cost and produce more. But there is always a heterosis hybrid vigor. Basically, hybrids are more hardy than the parent breeds. Are you talking about the plant? Those hybrids? Or are you talking about animals? Because for the animals, those kind of hybrids, they doesn't show to be hardy. They doesn't show to be stronger. Actually, they are weaker. They need time of adaptation. And usually in animal, well, we have the hybrid tiger with lion. They are they are sterile. They are barrel. They cannot produce offspring. If we cross, for example, donkey with horse, we have mule, which is sterile too. They cannot bring this kind of offspring. We have so those problems. We don't see that they are so strong or so hardly. But you can no need to use, for example, artificial fertilizer. You can use soil. You can use natural fertilizers from the animal. You can use that, and you can. It's not an experiment that just your father did. Everybody has done this without using any pesticide fertilizer. Because the way that the plant get the nutrition is the organic one. Those kind of artificial fertilizer, those kind of pesticide, those kind of hormones spoil the taste, make the plant to get mature fast but lose the quality. Money makes the world go round. Reminded me of cabaret music. Okay. What did you say? Dance? Okay, I'm gonna show you how I dance. Oh, replacing eggs with wet and sugar for breakfast. The Aboriginal Tibetan Mastiff has less domestication syndrome from the English Bulldog. Well, to check the level of domestication, look, the level of domestication in every dog breeds are. When we talked about the English Bulldog, we talk about hundreds of years breeding by people. That's why Tibetan Mastiff, in 90% of the cases, or in 90%, it's breeding and selection in nature without too much human interaction. That's why you don't see those kind of change in the domestic syndrome in those. In Tibetan yak too, it's the same. Dingo is the same, so you don't see those kind of change too much. But when the human start to interfere using those kind of breeding technique, you're gonna see a fast change in phenotypes in those animals. So you have to understand this. Because of the less interest, Tibetan Mastiff has this kind of staying with not so much change. But for sure, those Tibetan Mastiff come from whom? So you have to understand this. Yes, as much as human has interfered in animal and plant, creating some new organisms, we're gonna see more healthy problems in dog and in animals and in plant too. It will be as much as the animal is specialized. They can, because you select for one kind of traits, you don't select for the health, you select for the benefit. So you have to understand this. In the way that you select for one purpose, and you do this outcross mixing, you are not selecting a mature organisms. You are not select a mature animal. You don't give the time. You create a new one, a new exemplar. So you have to understand that this new exemplar has the adaptation to the environment. You have to understand this. At least if the genes of adaptation are heritage in this offspring. But most of the time they are because of you have a new organism, you don't have the genes of adaptation. So this kind of new organism need time to adapt. Farmers in the past were better. They didn't use insecticide and pesticides. Everything was healthy, organic food. Well, you have to understand those kind of seeds that the farmers used in the past was already adapted to the disease. And they didn't need so much pharmacy product like insecticide, pesticide to fight the different disease or different insect. But because of the new seeds came, those was fragile, very fragile. So they needed to compensate or this kind of protection. That's why. Well, the GMO, you can call those kind of hybrid one, because if there is a hybrid, it is a GMO. seed. It's a hybrid one. It's a new one. GMO seed from one to the worst companions ever. Yes, but now farmers want as much product from 1 acre as it can be. And it is not possible without insecticide and so on. Yes, that makes sense because not all the crops will survive. So you have to understand them because they need as much quantity. They're gonna deal with those kind of stuff. They're gonna doing like a cheating one, using the insecticide, protecting their crops, using the pesticide, sorry about, and insecticide too. So, and using those artificial fertilizers to increase the productivity in the agriculture, in the livestock. They're going to use that. Well, the price that you pay, it's the customer price. The customers all the time pay the price. You have to understand. It's not the factory, it's the customer. We pay the big price. We as the one that we consume. Do they care? I think not, unfortunately. Well, you have to understand when I'm talking, I say that their focus is incoming, generate incoming more and more. It's not focus to sell a healthy product, to sell a high quality product. No, they are focused to produce as much quantity. But as I said, when the quantity is high, we have those like a yin and yang. We have low quality food. Well, look, I do not care what the farmers eat. I care what I eat, what the customers eat. Maybe those farmer has a small yard which can produce good for themselves, very good quality food for themselves. They can do like this, and they are doing like that. I'm talking about the general public that consume those kind of stuff. I'm not talking about. I will not care about them because even if they do like this, they deserve. I'm not care about that. Government and media won't put on how bad those food are. Well, for example, the United States changing the legislation. It's changing the legislation. So Kennedy must change one or two things, hopefully. Well, I do not know what they're gonna do, but the hope is there. I have the hope that they're gonna do something. Let's see what they're gonna bring to the table. Let's see what they're gonna bring to the table. Let's see. If they're gonna make any change or was just the promise. Because when I see something, I'm gonna believe, not just words. It's like this: trust and verify. So you trust, but you have to verify they're gonna keep it or not. So I cannot. But I'm optimist in this direction. They're gonna do some change because they see that we have a lot of problems. Russians say trust by check. Well, it's not just a Russian proverb. Trust and verify. You have to understand this. It's not just Russian proverb. But that's good. They do it makes sense. That's why they say it like this. It makes sense. Trust and verify. It does make sense. Yes, definitely. It does make sense. It does make sense a lot. Trust need action, not just word. Need action. Trust need action to prove. Yes, like I said, need action. Trust what say Gronis 9 said. Words are empty until they are followed by action. That's just a fact. We must all try to be as independent and possible so we are able to help one others. Yes, words are cheap. Actions speak. Don't tell me, show me. It's not enough just to tell somebody. You have to show me. When somebody say, for example, oh, I respect you. Okay, but show me how you respect. Not just with word, I respect you. When somebody say, I love you, show me that you love me. Not just with word, I love you. Words are empty, are cheap. The Russians say, Emiliano, you are right. Well, I want to be fair. To be fair. To make a fair judgment. To make a fair. To bring a reality. That's why. It's important. Because it's not just the word, guys. It's not, you need to put action in everything. Words can be empty. Words can be good, beautiful, sounds good. But if you don't put in action those words, I think it doesn't have any value if they are not put in action. Are the action that make the words and promise credible. Because I can promise all day. Action takes strength and determination. Most people are not prepared to be uncomfortable, unfortunately. It is true. It is true. It is true. Most of the people are not prepared for that. Are not prepared because it is true that it's very uncomfortable sometimes for the change. I agree absolutely with you. I support what you said. But you cannot live like that. You have to understand, you cannot live like that with a delusion. Lies. By feeding yourself with lies. You cannot live like this. You cannot keep lying yourself. No, you need to make change. Never is late to make change. Never it's late to accept reality. It's never late. But you just need a little bit courage for this change. You need to see even to yourself. Well, usually the promise are always sweet, are not bitter. And it sounds beautiful. It sounds very sweet. It gives a promise. But we need the action. It's very important to put the action. That's why. So, the domestication syndrome was clear to everybody, or somebody has a question to make, you can make it now, before I leave. Or if you have another question related to the animal, feel free and do it. About healthy issues, behavior, or whatever you want, or even a suggestion. You can feel free and do it. I will not charge you guys for question. Fascinating topic and great information. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm trying to bring something very information about knowledge, about education. I'm trying to do like this, not just to bring a video which is entertainment. I understand that we need a little bit entertainment or to see, to visualize, not just to create the dreams, but even to see. I saw a video yesterday of an alibi that had an ear that was almost torn off, and had it been cropped, was the ear infected? Was the ear infected, Rajan? Or was just injured? I was just bled a lot. Many breeders could utilize this information. Well, breeders are smarter than specialists. What they show that are very smarter than a specialist. But actually the breeder are almost like those modern farmer. They just breed and plant for profit. They come with those so new idea, which is not new idea at all. They don't do nothing special. I don't see nothing value. I'm not talking to everybody. I'm not putting all breeders in the same basket. No, there are very good breeders too. But the majority of breeders are like majority of farmers. So it is like it is. That's the reality. It's taste bitter, not sweet. I'm not going to knock to every breeder door to say, hey, come in the channel, my channel, and get some knowledge. No, I will not do like this. Not at all. If somebody need advice, yes, I can give it. Only the best breeder first investigate 20 to 30 years before they start breeding certain breeds. And even they can make big mistake if not born for it. Look, the mistake during the breeding is acceptable. Is acceptable. But the good breeder learn from their mistake and progress. The bad breeder don't care about the mistakes. Breeders should read Max von Stephan's book about creating the German Shepherd dog. Well, I don't think that they care too much by reading or getting information. No. No. They just ask breeder to breeder and just get some information and this and that and this and that. They just going like this. They don't need to study. They don't need to work hard with the brain. They just don't need that. They don't need that because it's boring, first of all, for people to get new information. And I understand that. Because the human brain nowadays is more addicted to entertainment part and not to get knowledge. They are so much addicted for entertaining and not for seeking or learning knowledge. That's the human brain, how the human brain is developed nowadays in the majority of the people. It's like this. I'm not saying that there are not people that are very good reading books or even watching information show, information documentaries. No, they prefer those kind of stuff that are more easy entertainment, and they don't want to tire the brain. They don't prefer to tire the brain. They want more to get a physical tired, a physical work than to tired the brain. So it is like it is. And even here, I'm not for everybody. For those people who don't want to learn something, for those people that think that are smart, oh, this channel is not for them. Here is a channel that we share information, we talk, we discuss for problems, we share experience. It's like this. For people who know everything, oh, this place is not, my channel is not for people that are very knowledgeable at all. Because I'm not knowledgeable in a lot of stuff. No. I'm a student in this life and I'm ready to learn. Sky Boo. The time of having a pet without a real purpose is coming to the end in the near future. Depend. Well, if you see the maintenance price, it's one of the factors. It's high maintenance to have a pet, especially in the Western countries. It's very highly because the service, especially the veterinarian service, is very high, overcharged. I'm a veterinarian, but something I don't see reasonable. And the way how they operate here, they operate for money. They're gonna give you a lot of bunch of options, do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, do that. Like you to see that they care too much about the animal. No, they don't care. They care to generate as much profit as possible. That's true. They are not doing the necessary stuff they need to do. No, they're gonna give you a lot of bunch of service, a lot of bunch of stuff, blah, 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 which it doesn't make sense. Do this blood work, do this, do this panel, but this panel has this and that, but this panel which is cheaper doesn't have this. Come on, guys. If the animal is healthy, why they need to do such a stuff? For what reason has to spend hundreds of dollars just for a blood work? That's not normal. If the doctor is not suspicious for something, why they have to create that in the customer's brain. Why they have to put that? Is this professional? Well, depend in what kind of way, or depend in what kind of angle you are watching. Because I understand when something is necessary for a test, blood work, imagery test, like X-ray, MRI, ultrasound, and this and that, what they need to come in the right or in close diagnosis of problems. Yes, I understand, but to do something that doesn't make any sense, no need it. No need it. When when the doctor is not suspicious, why you have to put it and to say, oh, do this, do that, do this, do that? Because I know when we have a idiopathic syndrome or disease that we don't know what is the cause of that problems, and we require a lot of tests. I understand in these cases. I understand in these cases. Pets are becoming a luxury product. Well, it's a luxury commodity. It's a commodity. A pet are commodity. It is a commodity. You have to understand this. It is a commodity. Having a car is commodity. Pet are not working. Are not working dogs, they are pet. That's why we have different kinds. We have pet and we have working animals. From the working animals, you get a benefit. From the pet, you just get a relaxation. They are present. And yes, 90% of the pet, or more than 90% of the pet, they need high maintenance. Because pets are made to be fragile. Well, don't be so sad, because I'm not feel sad in this part. Because that's a reality. You need just to accept the reality. Being sad doesn't solve the problem. You have to understand this. Being sad will not solve the problem. Alibi or East European Shepherd? Well, depend of your taste, my friend. Depend of your taste. They are different dogs. They are not the same. And I go out 3 hours a day in the nature reserves. Well, it's pretty good that you have time to go out. No, I just answered Bila that those are my dogs right now. Oh, I understand this. I thought that you was asking, what should I pick? Because even for me, it's difficult to give you the right advice, which one you should pick. It's not so easy. The dog is very important. I think that it's very important to match the personality of the owner. It's very important to match the personality of the owner. If we are talking about the pets, if we are talking about the working dogs, it's different stuff. That's different stuff. But if you are referring to the pets, it must match your personality, your daily activity. It must match. It must relate it in your free time. Must relate it in this. We have to see some factors. That's why I make question to give you the right advice or the closest choice. Because it's up to you what you're gonna choose. Yes, a lot of people buy their own dogs for pet. Guardian and protection dog they can't handle. Well, the guardian and protection dogs, not every person is able to hold them. No? For example, if you see if she was a woman and she said that I have an American Pit Bull Terrier or a Pit Bull, or maybe a mongrels, maybe she don't know what she has. Somebody say that you have a Pit Bull. But logically, those kind of dog are not made to go out. If you understand what I mean. And are not made for without respect about woman. I don't have nothing. But you cannot hold, for example, a dog that can put you in trouble. No. You cannot go out because you have a limit in physique. We are not the same. That's to be honest. Female and a male, it's not the same. Like a dog are not the same. The same is for human too. You are not the same. We have not the same. We don't operate the same. Even man to man are not the same. We have difference. So you have to understand. It's not equal. There doesn't exist equal. You can exist equal right, equal judgment. But reality, how you operate, we operate different. So you have to put in your mind that and not to live in delusion that you can be a woman and go out with a Kangal dog or with a Central Asian Shepherd dog that it's heavier than you. You cannot manage this kind of dog. You cannot control this kind of dog. It's like this. So you have to be not to fantasize that because I'm training this dog he gonna learn my voice. No, it's an animal. You cannot control a human. Sometimes we cannot control ourselves. We cannot control our emotion. We make mistake. So how you gonna control the animal? How? Which the instinct in animal dominate than the logic, than the reason. So I think I was clear in this message. I thought you guys get the message for today. I try to be as clear as possible. For example, if it was my native language, I will be far more clear. Do you have any video about the shepherd dog from Romania? Mioritic, Corb, or Carpathian? Well, this Corb is... I'm not talking about Mioritic but let's talk about this Corb a little bit, because Corb, we have Corb in Romania, and we have the same dog in Macedonia, North Macedonia. Okay, it's a Turkish name. Let me think a little bit about what's the name of that. Because they are not two different breeds. They came from the Aboriginal dogs in the Balkan. They just select this black color on this Highlander. It's the same dog that is, you can find those, the black dog in Shar Mountain. So it's the same dog. This black color. They just people breed and amplify this black one. I'm just trying to remind the name of what the Macedonia call those black Sharplaninak, because it's nothing. It's just Sharplaninak one. It's nothing. If you're gonna just call with the name and the core with Carpathian, it's come from the same, just the color. That's if you are referring to the Aboriginal one. It doesn't come in my mind right now. Do they stay with herd or do they wander far from the herd? Raven. Raven and corb, it's almost the same. They call corb because of the black color. Raven is because of these birds. The corb. That's why they call raven. Raven and corb is this blackbird. If Paulina will confirm that. But in the North Macedonia, they have a Turkish name. It's a Turkish name. They call this black Highland mountain shepherd dog. It doesn't come in my mind right now. It does not come in my mind. It does not come. Yes, corb raven. Yeah, we call corb. Raven in Albanian language we call corb. Too. Karaman, not caravan. Karaman. Not caravan. Karaman shepherd. Thank you for reminding me. They call Karaman shepherd, which is a Turkish. And korb and Karaman. Yeah, Karaman it means black in Turkish language. Well, we have some hip hop music because of this car. So Karaman and Raven, if you guys understand, that's why we have the Sharplaninat and we have those dogs in Carpathian. The same dog, same origin. You understand, guys? They just kind of select some different size and they just going with this. So the Karaman and Raven, it's the same dog. They just give different name in different territory. Or Karaman and Korb. North Macedonia, they call with a Turkish one. In Romania, they call Korb or Raven. So, just to give you, those dogs are known to have long coat, double one, harsh. I don't know about the modern one. Do they have the harsh or do they have those smooth one? I'm not so much interested about that. But you can find those kind of dog in the Black Sea. You can find those kind of the Highlander with a black collar coat. Why do I feel like the sharp planning it's better with a family than the Caucasian of Chaka? Not true. or this is individual. If they come from the red star kennel, they used to be select to be a human aggressive, and Sharplanina, yes, we keep them for guardian the house too, but was not just select to be human aggressive with that purpose. So the red line is the army dog. So the army dog was the traits that those red star kennel selected, was to be human aggressive. We used to be a very good guardian toward the human. Is corp the same as what the American will call cour, like mountain course? I didn't understand what you mean with that, my friend. I have to end this live. Thank you for participating in the live stream, and see you in the next one. I wish everybody have a good day or a good night. Bye bye.